It's to find ease in your heart. So to find ease within ourselves, we need to first examine whatever discomfort we may be feeling. And once we know what it stems from, we can begin to manage it. We may be dealing with difficulties in our lives, but we can still find positive, healthy ways in which to live. And this begins when we accept the challenges that we face. And accepting our challenges doesn't mean that we stop trying to resolve them or to improve. It simply means that we accept that the difficulties are there and that we should not let ourselves lose our peace of mind because of them. In the face of any set of circumstances, remember there's a sweet place of ease inside us that asks for nothing. It offers its acceptance and allows us to breathe. So find your way and come into standing, and we're going to start with a breath of joy. I wish I had some music to play. I'm still going to be learning how to incorporate our music into. So this is what we do with the arms. You separate the legs any way you want, but you breathe in increments. So the first place your arms go is forward, about shoulder height, and you lift the palms up so you can receive. And then the arms go out to the side, and you take the second breath. And then the arms lift overhead with the palms facing towards the back if you can. And that's your third breath. And then you exhale with the sigh and you forward bend and you just hang with really loose arms. And if you wanted to, they could move behind the heels, behind the legs. And we're just going to hang there for a long exhalation. So lift the body up halfway and then come back up. We'll do it a couple of times together and then you can focus on doing it on your own. So first breath here is forward, sip through the nose. Second breath, third breath, to your full, and then, and the arms can hang, the knees are really relaxed, the head looking back behind you. Take some long breaths if you're not on your first breath. Let's do that again. Come up halfway, breathe in, first breath, second breath, third breath, and then exhale. And you can just let the hands hook at the elbows or let the hands release. Let the head look back behind you. You might have to take another breath. Let's do it again. Come up, breathe in, second breath, third breath, and release. Coming up halfway, all the way again. Do a few of these on your own. Breathe in. Think about letting go when you come into the forward bend. Think about receiving your joy for today as you take those 3 breaths. I'm ready for mine. You may not be ready for your second breath of joy where the arms go in those 3 directions. You sip in the breath and you let go with a sigh. And again. Two more, do them on your own. Maybe think about cultivating. How do you cultivate your joy today for all that's going on? How do you cultivate your joy? Breathe it in, visualize it, release anything, any obstacles that get in the way on the forward bend. Coming up halfway, and let your hands come to your waist. Lengthen the body halfway and spread the toes and move the crown as far away from your tailbone as you can as you lengthen in your side body. And then put the toes down either with the big toe first or the baby toes, whichever feels more natural for you and helps you open up your toes. Stabilizing the low body, lift the upper body up. Let's just swim with the arms. One arm goes forward, close to the ear. Swim forward. Soften your knees. Just hang your body into the ground, grounding in, and then go backwards. Arms move back. Swim backwards. So we're going to do some cross-directional, a little bit of balance for the opposite leg to the arm. That's the wrong way to move the camera. I've got to move it this way. Okay, so with your right leg lifting, lift your right leg and let your left arm come over and tap it. And then lift the left leg and let your right arm come over and tap it. So you're going to tap. So the arms keep changing. So lift the leg just as much as you want, and the opposite arm is going side to side. Keep your breath going and practice using your abdominals and lifting into your hip flexor. And now we're going to cross with the arms are going to be lifted, and I want you to turn the foot so it's like the big toe and the heel are lifting. So the knee is turned out to the side, and you may not be going as fast as I'm going, so you go at a speed that works for you. Now let's take the arm and tap towards the heel, towards the inner part of the lower body, and you can make the arms like goddess arms and start to cross and add a little twist as you tap, 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 tap. Couple more sets. Now hold the arms. Now the legs are going to go out to the side. So you're going to go out to the side, out to the side, out to the side. And then you're going to take it back behind you. So the leg kicks back behind you, trying to kick your buttocks. Arms are out. And now tap opposite hand towards the heel. Boy, I'm pulling my sticky mat up every time I lift my foot.
Sticky.
One more. Now you're going to put the two together. Relax just a minute. So it's going to go inner right, inner left, then back behind you. So one set in front and one set back. Cross front and front, cross behind, behind, front, front. Don't reach down to get it. Just let that leg come up to you so your torso stays upright. Two more sets. One more set. And relax. Shoulders lift. And then when you push the shoulders down, you say, ha, ha. Shoulders lift. Push the shoulders down with a ha, ha. Shoulders lift. Push them down with a ha, ha. Shoulders lift. Push them down with a ha, ha. Last time, shoulders lift. Push them down with a ha, ha. Okay, this focuses on the hips and the shoulders. I want you to bring your thumbs together. Your thumbs come together, and your index finger comes together. Open the fingers as much as you can, and see if you can raise the arms up to eye level and then above the head. Try to lengthen the brain of the arm, the elbow. So instead of being soft, you're going to have them lifted and extended. So when the arms go up, the leg's going to come forward. Let's just do the arms. So we're going to breathe in as the arm goes up, and then breathe out as the arms go back, and they can go back behind you. So breathe in as the arms go up, and then breathe out as the arms go back. We're going to be adding your lunge. So come forward with your right leg, and it's going to bend like you're coming into warrior one, and this is warrior one. Breathing in, and then step that leg back. Breathe out. Left leg forward. Breathe in, and breathe out. You can breathe through the mouth on this. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in. Come as forward as much as you want. In fact, if you want to be on the ball of the foot, of that back foot, you can do that. Come forward. You're going to keep changing the foot that moves forward. And try to keep those thumbs and fingers together and really work into the thoracic spine. Feel the muscles of the back helping you. Opening up shoulders. and you go forward. Either that back foot can stay down or you could be on the ball of the foot. Forward and back. Let's do one more set at your own. 1 foot forward, arms go back. So the arms are in front, back behind you. Come back to center and be in your Tadasana. The arms are going to go forward as you take a nice breath in. So bring the arms up and towards the ears. And then the arms are going to go open out back to the side and go back behind you. And you can connect the thumbs or just bring the hands towards each other. Breathing in, lift the arms up above the head. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale, the arms come down to the side and back behind you. Hook them. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Do 2 more so you can just focus on your own breath and your own rhythm. They're going forward and up. And then to the side, stretching out and back behind you. Last one, forward and back behind you. Let the arms rest to the side. Open the feet. They're a little bit more than hip width apart. Soften the knees and just start to move into a twist. Knees soft, turning the hips and the knees as you move side to side. Just letting the arms dangle. Make a light fist and let the fist tap your kidneys. You could turn your head as well and look in that direction unless you get dizzy. Then you want to just keep your head forward. So we're kind of warmed up, right? No? We're going to do a few more standing poses and then the rest will be seated. Let the arms come up. So you're tapping a shoulder. You're tapping the front of the deltoid and the arms go back behind you. So your arms have shifted into being down by the kidneys to up higher. Just a gentle twist for the body. Now let's lift your arms all the way up, all the way up. Pull the arms halfway down and find your standing back bend. The forearms are moving back, the fingers are opening. Let the heart be forward. Let the throat feel open. If you want a deeper back bend, send the tailbone closer to the crown of the head. Lift up through the waist. So extend the space between the hips and the armpits. Move the hips more forward. Ground into the edges of the outside of the feet and into the inner edges of the feet and lift up through the arches. On your next breath, lift all the way up with the arms and swan dive down to the ground, and we're just going to hang in your forward bend. So let the hands come towards the knees. So if your forward bend bothers your back, you're just going to put your elbows right here and just rest right here. If you can go further and let the arms extend down, we're going to hold our forward bend. There can be just real relaxation here at the bottoms of the hamstrings. And you keep releasing the waist, keep releasing the head, and let the hands touch anywhere on the ground, or you can be right here, which is more relaxing for your low back. Always paying attention to that low back. And if you can take now and take your fists and put your fist in the inside of your elbows and hang in that forward bend, pressing into your bicep. Push the fist into the bicep and just hang. And now move the head in little circles. Create nice length in the neck as the shoulders depress down away from the ears. Move the head in the other direction. Now release the arms again. And if you remember which arm was on top, I want you to change. If you just automatically put the right one on top, then change. Maybe not be a big feel difference here. Let the head release, and now just move your head forward towards the front of the mat, and then look back behind you so you see the back wall. Push into the biceps, so you're really feeling a push into the biceps. It's supposed to be a nice back release energetically. The head goes forward, you're looking forward towards the front of the mat, and then you look behind you. So we're engaging the whole spine here. One more with your neck doing that. So let's let the hands come down towards the ground, Walk forward and come out into your downward facing dog. So your arms go forward and your legs go back. Go ahead and move those heels, bend the knees. You can also twist your body so you're looking when one leg is bent, you turn towards the opposite. The right leg is bent, turn to the left, turn the belly, turn the head. Can you feel your calves? Can you feel the ankles, the wrists, the arm bones, the back of the body, and the front of the body? Standing in downward facing dog, if your wrist can still handle that, can you bring your feet together so the big toes touch? And on your inhalation, lift the right leg up and keep that leg extended. And let it down on the exhalation. Bring the feet together. And as you lift up, lift the left leg as you breathe in and point the foot up, ball the foot up towards the ceiling. Maybe bring the heart closer towards the standing leg. Feel the arm bones. And let that leg release back down. I want you to just come to your knees. And I want you to come to your child's pose. Do you like the knees open, or do you want to go back with the knees closer in and stretch either with your arms forward, out to the side, or back behind you? Take some nice resting breaths just to stimulate the balancing, the shoulder opening, the postures that we've done so far. Think about what you want from your practice, what you'd like from your day. Set a sankalpa, an intention for your practice or for your day. If there were just one word, one focus, what would that be for the day? On your next exhalation, come to tabletop. So bringing the head closer to the tailbone, lift the tail, move the head back, and then let the head down, crown down, and tailbone down. Push the floor away. The head closer to the tailbone, and then the head down and the tailbone down. See how much you can move your pelvis and your whole spine as you rock your body forward and back. So forward bend and back bend. in your dog and cat or cat and cow. When you come forward, push the floor away. Check out your openings of your starfish hands, chin to the chest. Really press out through the back of the body. And as you lift, let the belly sag broad across the collarbones. Maybe allow the eyes to look up and sink in. You got some holy water back here behind the low back. And as you come back into your cat, you spill it all around your hips. Couple more. You can let the breath synchronize with the movement to make sure that you're breathing. Let's come back to tabletop when you're ready. And you can have the toes forward to help engage this movement a little bit more. So turn the tail to the right and look over your right shoulder. So looking towards the right. Feel the crunch on the right, the stretch on the left. Go the other direction. Look over the left shoulder and turning the hip towards the left. Still, you could have the knees soft, not the knees. You could have the elbows soft if you want. And if it's too much for your wrist, you could be on your fist. You're going to go side to side. You could also be on your forearms on this, but it doesn't feel quite the same. So moving your torso one direction and then the next, side to side. Do a couple more. Now we're going to do another shoulder opener. So again, if you can, bring your thumbs towards each other and stretch the arms all the way forward. We don't bring the buttocks all the way to the heels. We're going to just stretch the arms forward and then allow the torso to sink down so the arms are lengthening. And this is about shoulders here and lengthen in the spine. So the head can come down, and if it doesn't come down comfortably towards the mat, here's where you could use your blanket or your block. See if you can touch the thumbs and open up into your shoulders. Keep lengthening those arms. If you don't need the block, move it out of the way. So you got your hips lifted and elevated a little bit. Press into the circumference of your whole hand, the big thumbs and the baby fingers. Take a couple more breaths here. Keep the throat soft and the forehead and all around the eyes. Now, can you turn your torso with the arms stretched? Can you lean over so you kind of, not much, but stacking the left shoulder over the right, turn towards the left a little bit? I've turned my head, I've turned my ribs, my torso a little bit to the left. Watch what happens to your breath. As soon as you realize you might be holding it or have restless breath, try to relax. Breathing in, breathing out. 1, 2, pause. Go the other direction. Come back to center and stack the right arm more towards the left and turn your torso, turn your head and go the other direction. Try to relax the throat and the jaw, the underside part of the tongue. And then lift your body, your torso goes back to the center, walk your arm bones back, and that hopefully was a really good stretch for your shoulders. Separate your knees, let your torso be fairly long, or actually no, bring your knees closer together. And so all you're going to do is roll to one side so the hips might come halfway down or all the way down, and then go to the other side. So go side to side. This can be a really nice gentle twist and hip opener before we get started on some longer holds. Going side to side. Here's where you might need a blanket for your knees, because if you got a hard floor. You may not feel good on your kneecaps, all the ligaments. One more time. And then walk your hands back. So here's where you need your blocks or a blanket. Let's see. A nice little pad. Thank you, Wanda, for giving all of us our pads. So let's come to, we're going to do the Gecko and the another hip opener. Let's see, I need another block. So if you've got your blocks or your books, that will be helpful. So I'm going to be facing you. Let's take your right leg forward. Take your right leg forward. And if you have blocks, it's wonderful. And if you don't, you could just put one hand on each side of the foot. So what I'm going to do, because I definitely lose track of time, I'm going to put the timer on. And I'm going to let us hold this for a minute. And then if we feel like we can go another minute, we're going to go another minute. So your hands could be down, and it's so much easier for me if my hands are on blocks. Try to keep an awareness of the knee over the ankle. And you could have that back leg behind you as much as you want. So the closer you are with your legs, the easier it's going to be. So you can always want to move that forward leg more if you need more of a stretch. So here's where we want to practice our breath. Breathing in and breathing out. 1, 2, and pause. So we're going to be feeling probably our quadriceps, our psoas muscle, our hip flexors. That was only a minute. So now come to Anjaneyasana. Your hands will come up to your thighs, and you can just keep your hands right there. We'll just stay here for a minute. You can push the femur bone away so that the waist can move back more. Bringing that back thigh more forward. The whole hips can come more forward. So practice that breath and see if you can just stay in the present moment instead of wanting to abandon your body and going into your head and your thoughts. See if you could stay with the sensations. Like, I'm not going to leave you because I'm going to help you release some trauma, some issues in the tissue. So the more we can hold these poses, the more we can let some of that tension that gets stored in the body. See if you can relax your shoulders. Come to those places where you store tension, which is the jaw, the eyes. I didn't realize that we could store 80% of our tension. Now lift, so you've got the right leg forward, lift the left arm and come into the side stretch. And I'll put the timer on again. We're only doing a minute. We're not holding these for a long time. I'm going to change the camera. So lengthen over towards that bent leg.
Seems like a long time.
Seems like a long time, Brian said. Stretching over. I moved the camera the wrong way. I'm alive. I'm awake. I'm alert. Oh. Oh, how y'all doing? Oh, just a couple more breaths in that side bend. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take that foot, maybe move it out more towards the side mat, gently open that knee, Take the left arm on the ground or the block and then turn and twist towards your right. So you've got the big toe lifted, which you can't see. Big toe is lifted. You've opened up that knee and you're turning in that direction. So that arm bone is really working. The wrist is really working. Turn that shoulder so the shoulder goes back and keep allowing your pelvis to move forward. Come back to the breath and being with the sensations rather than wanting to run away from them. Can you feel your bottom clenching? Can you feel the gripping of the teeth? If so, just soften and release with the breath. Okay, that was only a minute. Now we're going to let the toe come back down and let your body come more forward so the hands can come inside the foot. You could walk the hands forward and see if you could maybe come down to one forearm or both forearms. And you get settled into your gecko now. And I'll set the timer for a minute. So breathing in, full breath in, breathing out, full breath out, and hold. 1, 2, pause. Breathing in, breathing out, hold. 1, 2. Breathing in. You can keep walking your hands more forward if you have the flexibility to do that. Soften wherever you're trying to engage and you're trying to guard your body. You're trying to guard your hips. So try to really be aware of where it is and just relax. Just let go. That was a minute. So let's come back up. Let's come back up. Bring that leg that's forward and bring it back. And so you might want to do a child's pose or you might want to do a downward facing dog. Just decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to push the hips back in child's pose, or would it feel more comfortable just to come up and hang? And notice the difference between sides. Either one that you're in, just take 2 more breaths. Maybe you've done both, downward facing dog and child's pose. Okay, let's lift up. Come back to your tabletop. I hope your wrists are okay. So let's set up to go to the other side. Let's bring your left leg forward and straddling that foot. So the left leg is as far forward as you want. Bring the hands on either side of that foot. You could just let the torso release into that thigh. I'll set the timer for a minute. And you're going to focus on being here now. Being here into your body and releasing tension out of the hips, out of the quadricep, out of the psoas, out of the hip flexor, out of the buttocks. Soften shoulders. Your knee is over the ankle, but you don't want it any further than the toes in front. You could go deeper, walking that foot more forward. Can you release the pelvis forward? Come back to the breath. Full breath in and breathe out. 1, 2, pause. Breathe in and breathe out. 1, two, pause. Come to Anjaneyasana. Put your hands on the thigh. Lift your body back up, upright. And then come as far forward as you want, depending on how much intensity you want in the hip. And let's do Anjaneyasana. You could just push the femur bone more towards the knee. And when you push the hands towards the thigh, then you can also lift up through the side body and move the shoulders away from each other and down and come into more of a back bend with the torso if you want. If you really want to add more, you could add an arm up or both arms up. And take a look up. If you want to stay right here on your thigh, that's okay too. I'm wondering, did I set the timer? Yes, I did. It feels like a long time. Put your hands down. And now let's move so that we're in a side bend, a little bit of a twist. So one hand can be on that thigh or the waist. Let's hold that for a minute. Back to the breath. Easy, comfortable, steady. We're trying to still engage that parasympathetic system. So when we extend the exhalation, we're triggering that vagus nerve that I've been talking about a little bit that starts at the cranium. It goes through the diaphragm. It goes into the intestines and it stimulates and gives messages to the brain that like, oh gosh, I'm supposed to fight or flight or freeze instead of rest and be still and be peaceful. So the breath helps you to be peaceful when the postures might ask more of you. Relax the mouth, the jaw. Okay, now our last one, there was a minute, is to come down towards your gecko. So your hands, oh no, we need to do this now. So your hands come down inside and you're gonna take the foot out, you're gonna lift up the big toe and open that knee. The right arm is down and it can be on the block, so you're gonna be twisting towards the bent leg, lifting up that big toe. That foot probably went out a little bit wider. So turn and twist, and let me set the timer for a minute here as you extend and allow the pelvis to be soft and the buttocks to be soft, and keep pushing into that arm if your wrist allows, and twist, moving that shoulder, that left shoulder back, turning the head, but depressing the shoulders as much as you can, keeping the sides of the neck soft, the eyes soft, and come back to that breath ratio. Inhaling, exhaling, 1, 2, pause as long as it's comfortable. Ooh, y'all feeling your hips?
Nope, they're numb.
Brian says they're numb. That was a minute, so bring that knee back up and see if you can allow your body to come more forward. So the blocks or the hands can be inside, walk forward, walk forward, walk forward, and then put maybe a forearm or both down and be in your lizard, in your gecko pose. So let's put the timer on and make this work, make this pose work for you. Try to be present in your body. Not just in the mind, just send it all throughout the body. I can do this. I can relax into this pose with my breath. I can be here now in this present wonderful moment. There's a form of yoga called yin yoga where we would hold these poses for like about 4 minutes. So we're just doing them 1 minute. Okay, lift your body back up into whatever pose you've come into and bring that forward leg back. Let's open up your knees. Let the toes come towards each other and come into a child's pose. And rest your forehead on a block or your hands and just let your hands touch your third eye, the space between the eyebrows up into the middle of the forehead. And just take some resting breaths here. So 4 minutes on each side, and those variety of poses should definitely give you some hip openers for your seated, for your walking, for your standing ease today, helping your back. Couple more breaths, just stimulating that third eye where you get more clear about your intuition and your vision for your day of however you're cultivating joy. Let's come into seated. So bring your bodies up and let's come into seated Dandasana. Here's where you want your strap. So go ahead and get your strap if you have it. Let's shake out those legs a little bit. And let's open them up. Let's open up. Let the hands come back behind you. And when you push into the hands, it's like you're lifting your torso up and then moving the whole torso forward as the legs might open even more. Let the heels be the part that's the most forward, and then open up the toes and let the balls of the feet come forward. And then curl the toes and let the toes come forward to a pointed foot. Then open the toes and let them come back. Curl the toes, let them go forward, and then open the toes, move them back. Curl them again, let them come forward. Open the toes, let them come back. If you have a block, bring your block or two forward. Make sure you're really on your sit bone. So any flesh, just move it so you're on the rim of your pelvis, and then come forward. Maybe you could put your elbows on the blocks, or you could walk the blocks forward. We're just going to hang forward in a way for you that's comfortable for your back. So if you don't have the blocks, take your hands forward and then pull as if the fingers are spread, but pull the hands more forward towards you as you move the heart closer. So either you've got the blocks and you're hanging forward, or you could try this too, where you're moving the heels of the hands closer as the heart comes forward and the shoulders press down. Keep your feet active. So we're going to do Gomukhasana, and I don't demonstrate it very well because of my limitations in my shoulder, but I do it the best that I can, and that's how you will do it. So it opens up your hips, it opens up your shoulders. Let's move the hands back, lift the torso, bring your legs back, and let's take your left leg and cross it over. So it's not just that it's crossed here with a big opening, but you're trying to bring the knees on top of each other. Your knees are on top of each other. If you have your strap, bring your strap onto your right shoulder and take the strap or the bathrobe tie and put it over your right shoulder. And now you got your left leg on top and the knees are as close as they can be, and your right arm comes up and you reach for the strap with your right hand and try to move that elbow up So if you don't have the strap, you can do this without. Lift up through your torso, and then take the left arm up. The thumb moves this way. Now the thumb moves down. Reach the arm out and come and get the back of the strap. Now where did it go? I can't find it. Get the back of the strap. So you're going to bring those hands as close together as you can. So you can look at mine. I have a lot of space between mine. But one arm, this arm is moving in towards the center. The top arm is moving into the center. The bottom arm is moving into the center and up. So if you don't have the strap, you're just moving the hands as close as you can. And then you try to keep your torso lifted up. That bottom leg could be bent too, but this works fine with a straight leg. So instead of leaning forward, try to lift up. So this is cow face. Can you see the cow face shape? Oh. Brian's making the sound like the cow. He entertains me. Oh, can you release those arms and release the leg and shake out the leg? So that strap can help you. It's not necessary, but it can help. Now, take your right leg over your left. So it's not, you don't see a triangle there. You're trying to really cross it over so the knees are like one on top of each other. Take your strap if you happen to have one. Bring it over your left shoulder this time. Lift the left arm up. Turn the palm to the back. Reach back and get the strap. With the other arm, move that tricep up and back. So folding the elbows in, lifting up through your sit bones. If you needed, you could put some padding under here so you could sit and not tilt your pelvis. Right arm comes up, palm forward, thumb down. Turn the palm to the back, reach and find your strap and bring your arms as close together as you can. Really opens up those deltoids and the hips. So if you've got shoulder issues, just back off away from this. You don't want to force these poses into your body. You just want to ease into them, breathe into them, lift up through the sit bones, up through the crown. Soften the sides of the neck, soft eyes. Breathing in and breathing out. 1, 2, hold. 2 more breaths. Breathing in. You can bring those hands closer together if you want, if you've got that motivation for more flexibility, more openness. Let's go ahead and take one more breath in. And then exhale. 1, 2, pause. And release the arms, release the strap. Go ahead and release that leg. And bring the soles of the feet together. And just move the torso forward to the side and back with the feet close to each other. So I hope it felt opening and freeing of your hips. You might not even know till the rest of your day what good we did for your hips. And let's go forward in the other direction. So you're going forward to the left and back. And let's just do one more of those in that direction. And then come to center and just hold your ankles or hold your knees. Or maybe you, with the 2 peace fingers, you can hold the big toe. And let the baby toes touch and open up. And the bottoms open up at the bottoms of the feet. Lift the torso, shrug the shoulders. Moving the head towards the right, breathe in. Moving the head towards the left, breathe out. Moving the head back to center, turning the head towards the right, breathe in. Stretching the eyes, depressing the shoulders, moving the heart forward, turning the head to the left, breathe out. Breathing in, bring the head back to center. Now let the chin lift up. Breathing in, eyes up and towards the back. Breathing out, drop the chin down. Head comes back to center as you breathe in. If it's comfortable for you and your back feels safe, you can extend the legs forward or back. Move forward with your torso and then bring the toes together. Cup the hands and bring the toes together. And you could look down towards the toes. You could use the elbows to open up at the lower legs, or maybe they're up higher towards the thighs, and press forward for 3 breaths. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Make little circles with your nose, one direction. Go the other direction. If you have low back issues, it might not feel good at all to come forward, so you can just do this more upright. And let that head come back up and move the torso back. Bring your feet up, and we're just going to move those knees side to side. The hands go back, so the legs go to the right as your head turns and the waist moves towards the left. Go the other direction. So legs are wide and you're coming into a gentle twist, so your spine, your head go opposite of those legs. Just a couple more. So I want you to choose whatever Shavasana position you like. If you like to be on a blanket supported, a pillow supported, maybe you like to put legs on a chair, legs up against the wall. I want you to find your happy place, and I'm going to do a little reading. So if you don't have anything to be on, you could just lie down with the knees soft, palms up, the legs extended, so nothing is touching. Palms up, tuck your shoulders in, separate the legs so that the toes are out to the right, and on the right foot and on the left foot, toes are out to the left. Shift, move the buttocks flesh. Maybe with your hands, just move the buttocks flesh so that it goes closer towards the heel. So you lengthen out in your spine. Just get into a comfortable place for you, or maybe you're in legs on a chair, legs up the wall. It's your pose that you'd like to be in. Start to settle down into your resting pose. I've been reading out of Science of Mind, and I'm going to read something for you that might have some resonance. It's called My Brother, My Sister, Myself. So as you listen to my words, just allow your breath to be free. Scan your body from the top to the bottom and wherever you're aware of holding tension. And the more you do yoga, the more you're in tune with your body, the more you know where you hold your tension. Is it in the jaw? Are you clenching the buttocks? Can you let the tongue soften on the top and the bottom as it rests on the lower palate? Can the shoulders release a little bit more? The fingers, the toes, the buttocks muscles. Just scan yourself. They say there's a window from one heart to another. But how can there be a window where no wall remains? That was by Rumi. The unity of good is a revelation of the greatest importance. The unity of good is a revelation of the greatest importance, for it teaches us that we are one with the whole and one with each other. That was from Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, the creator of Science of Mind. So here's the reading. The shared spiritual unity and oneness of all beings is a fundamental tenet in every major faith tradition. Love thy neighbor as thyself is so basic and real that we experience it every day on personal levels, yet is so tenuous and challenging that we still live in a world that participates in wars and injustices of all kinds. Our primal fears about the other, meaning anyone not like ourselves, create walls that need windows, at the very least, to begin reaching out to each other with open hands instead of weapons. What will our world be like when we have no need of windows because there are no longer walls? What a beautiful vision Rumi had. It reminds me of one of the points in our philosophy's creed, what we call what we believe. This particular tenet says we believe that the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. I'm going to read it again. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. It may sound like a fantasy, but we may sound like dreamers, but I bet we're not the only ones, to paraphrase John Lennon. There's more than 7.794 billion people in the world now, and like many others, I try to remember that every one of them is my neighbor, my brother, my sister, myself. Let's make it a beautiful day in the neighborhood. The affirmation is today I am a neighbor to all and a stranger to none. The universe holds us all in loving embrace. Breathing in, I feel calm. Breathing out, I let go as I ease into my day. Start to move the body, fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, in any way that feels good to come out of your Shavasana. Taking your time to move over to one side and anticipating your day. And finding your way back to seated when you're ready. Just bring your hands towards your heart in reverence for self. Letting the thumbs touch towards the heart and lifting the hearts up towards the mind as we bow down in reverence for self and the inner teacher. So if you're seated, broaden across the collarbones. And if you want to stay down in your Shavasana, whatever pose you've chosen, feel free to listen to your wisdom of your bodies. May all beings be free and find joy. Thanks everybody for practicing with me today. Namaste.
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 Have a great day, everybody.
You too, Linda.
Thank you, Linda. Good session.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome, Marty.
Thank you. Oh.
Convergence.
Thanks, Linda. Good class.
You're welcome. Good to see you, Kathy.
Thanks.
You'll have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.